YouTube, and Twitch. Okay. All right, let's see what to do.
I think TikTok really fucked up. You want to know why? Because now we don't even use it to go live before the show or anything anymore. Like,
Yeah. I was gonna like last week. I was like, well, maybe I should go live, right, and just do what I do. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I kind of had an effing moment. I was like, you know what? If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But whatever. It's kind of how I see it at this point. Let's see. Okay, it's up on. This is Facebook. Okay, it is up on YouTube. I just need to. I want to check on Twitch to make sure the Twitch is going okay.
what you
Because I
doing,
remember
Donnie?
there was one time we went live and I didn't see it on Twitch. Oh, it is on Twitch. Okay.
Girl, can you believe I almost got married off today?
That's funny. Like, excuse me. Tell me something I did because it's not something I knew. Funny. Okay, and I think let's see. Okay, here it goes. All right, it's up on all three as far as I can see. All right, let's turn off this elevator music, which I actually like.
I think it sounds pretty relaxing.
Right? I thought so too. Let's
Let me see if I can
see.
dim this light a little bit.
Okay. Ooh, let me put the chat on. So if there's anyone who's joining us, and please drop in the chat because we just need to make sure that that part is working because it wasn't a couple weeks back. Okay, there we go.
We know it was working last weekend, honey, because
Thank God.
one of our day ones was all in the chat.
She really was. And by the way,
Okay.
don't forget, if you're just joining us, our website is active and we do have like all the places you can listen on Oust now. Let me make sure I say it right because I forget my own name some days. www.oustnow.com.
Mm.
It's in that little whatever that thing is called. So if you want to know where to listen for season 4, that's where it's going to be. I forgot to hang on. I'll send you a message.
It's on there now.
Okay.
Um,
I sent we were kind of thinking about kind of letting it just but
oh, well,
there's that.
depends on how you look at it. It could be good. It could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
bad. You
I
can
was
look
like,
at it
what?
2 different ways.
I guess that was meant to be.
I guess that was a good thing, right?
Yes,
God damn.
that worked. um, I say we give it a few minutes before we get into the tattles.
Girl. Tea. I don't know if I
Yes.
poured enough tea. Last time I clearly ran out of tea in the process.
Mm,
Maybe I'll start doing 2 cups of tea. One,
just
just because I need a backup. Because when we sip, it's like it seems to happen a lot more frequently, right?
yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta sip on that
I
tea.
gotta sip on
Look, and I made a big cup because
that. I
for whatever
see.
reason, I have no mugs. I've got 2 mugs in this house. I've
Oh, I'm
got the one that you
sorry.
got me. No, it's
Okay.
fine. I mean, like big ones, because I've got the what, 8 ounce cups. I'm like, that's nothing when it comes to coffee or tea.
So
So
your next gift would be a big mug. Got
cups,
you. Say no more.
20 ounce.
I got your back. I got you. Cause I love the mug
Big
that
cup.
you sent me, the water mug, the
See?
circle, the pink. I love it.
Twinsies.
You got it,
Not an advertisement. Not an
girl. You make me want
advertisement.
to go. Look, I want to run and go get my cup, but I ain't got time to be doing that. I'm gonna sip my tea and try not to melt.
Girl, they have another color that I've been kind of eyeing. It's like a bluish. I don't know what color. I can't even call it, but it's like a bluish,
Turquoise.
purplish type
Oh,
scenario that I'm like, but I
pretty.
think it's more than the other ones. You can get some of the other ones for like $20, but this one's like 30. And I was like, I don't think that's fair. I get it because it's a nice color. It's almost like if you look at this background, but it has like a metallic-y, purpley blue, pinky type thing. I'll send it to you, but it's so
Really?
pretty. It's so pretty. I was like, I really want that one. But thank you everyone who's joining. We are just chatting it up real quick before we get started. And of course, we are going to start with Oust Tadler, which is our newest segment. And we hope that you're enjoying because we are. We are.
See, already.
Mm. But let me see. It's been about 7 minutes. You want to get to it? Girl,
We
I'm spitting.
can.
All right. Because today's topic is it's a little on the heavier side and a very unpleasant one. So I think the fact that we in certain like with the live in particular, the fact that we can do the Oust Tadler ahead and within this for the lives, it does kind of lighten up the mood. Especially for this topic because it is I don't know how to how to describe it. Um, but let's get to it. Let's have some fun.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I think you described it well when you said it's a heavy topic. It can be triggering for some. And maybe before we get started, maybe we should do one of our trigger warnings. Because even though it's really popular, not really popular, I don't want to say popular. Popular's not the word I'm looking for, especially when it comes to stuff like this, right? So even though it is in circulation, a lot of people are seeing it and viewing it.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that it is not affecting people along the way. You know what I mean? So definitely a trigger warning for today's
Yeah.
topic.
And yeah, and there's something I want to say because I didn't realize what it was that I was looking at until I finally did, and I was like, "Holy cow, that's what this was." So let's have some fun. Let's do it.
Okay. The best part.
This is the correct way to cook canned goods. You're supposed to put your canned goods on the stove. And then when it's done, it's supposed to open up. Shake it up a little bit. On me, you want to have that dent in the bottom of that shit so you know it's getting hot. Shake it up. Make sure it's getting around there. You want this to pop up in a little bit. When it's hot enough where you can't touch it, that's how you know your canned goods gone. This is the point of a canned good, to eat out of it. Trying to read life, but you can't read life. You got that shit happen.
Mm.
Damn, did I get that on camera?
He won
Oh
line.
shit. I got shot. Damn. Now read that. You do know that.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place holidays available, with 22 kilograms of baggage included.
Can you please tell the name for your application you applied for?
Yeah, D
Mark D
E
Okay.
E
Okay.
Z
Okay.
N
Okay.
U
Okay.
T
T is Peter, right?
T as in Tom.
T is in Tom. Okay.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Z.
Okay. Let me spell it again. It's D as in David, E as in Edward, then again E as in Edward, then Z as in zebra, N as in Nancy, U as in umbrella, T as Tom, and then Z again.
Yeah. Could you say that for me?
It's D as David,
No.
E as
Could
in
you pronounce it?
These nerds.
Come say it again. Tell me say it again.
I watched that so many times. It keeps getting funnier.
Vamos a dormir. Tus ojos hermosos.
Oh my.
Okay, that one was a quick one. Let me just come back to it for a second because mamas, don't do this right here. That video. Oh my god, hang on. I'm crying.
Valentina,
Oh my goodness.
vamos a dormir.
She's in labor, y'all. 9 centimeters. That's him and his
Tus
mama.
ojos hermosos.
Ladies, don't be that mama.
Him and
His
his
mom cuddled up while she about to give birth. As a boy mom, if I expect someone in my circle to fucking say something. I mean it. Don't do that, ladies.
Oh my.
Hmm.
Well,
The D's. Every time I watch that video, I will I've laughed even harder every time.
yo. And it's so petty and juvenile, but it's so
So good.
funny. Like I knew. Like, did you already get it? Like, did you already when he was as soon as he said the D, I was like, oh yeah, I know what this is.
Oh my gosh. It is juvenile, but I was here for it in that moment. Think how many
Ready.
like scam calls we get.
I couldn't wait.
They deserve it.
I couldn't wait. Can you say that for me?
D E no, don't spell it. Say it. Oh, that
Please
cracked
say
me
it.
up.
For all of us, please say it.
For anyone who's had to pick up one of those calls, that's for you.
For real.
Oh my gosh, I'm sweating here. Mm.
Girl, me too. Like I got this fan like blowing in my face, you know, and it still feels like it's blowing hot
Like I'm
air.
gonna turn the light off, but it's too late. But I'm happy that we were able to get some fun stuff out the way before we get to it because trigger warning. You may not know what you're looking at when you first see it because I was kind of like, I don't know what this is. But it is, ooh, excuse me. Sorry, somebody needs some more computer time. And I need to give it to him so we can do what we need to do. Okay. I didn't really understand what I was looking at. And so I just kind of glossed over it because this actually went viral I want to say a week or two ago. And now, after a recent press conference, it was like, oh, that's what this was. And now it's starting to circulate again or more because there's a very big lawsuit behind this. I have a theory, though.
I'm before it.
Let's get to it.
Everybody, anybody, I'm in Clyde, North Carolina, and they try to kill me, y'all. They try to kill me. I'm in Clyde, North Carolina. They try to kill me. They tried to kill me. I'm in Clyde, North Carolina. Okay? They're on Clyde, North Carolina. They tried to kill me at the landfill. They tried to kill me at the landfill at Clyde, North Carolina. They just tried to kill me at the landfill in Clyde, North Carolina. Everybody, they just tried to kill me at the landfill in Clyde, North Carolina, because they said that I had a phone and the phone was being tracked and that I had it.
So this TikTok user by the name of Not Turning Back 98 was just doing his job. Um, and he will tell you about it when he gets to the press conference. So I'm not going to speak for him because he posted it on his page, so we can clearly see. But he was accused of doing something that he did not do after arriving early for a dump. And it was the first time he'd ever been to this dump. And then they accuse him of taking a phone, which ultimately was found later by the accuser's vehicle. And just keep watching. That's the part I didn't understand what I was seeing. And then afterwards, I understood. I was like, oh. I probably should have blurred out. I hope we don't get dinged behind it, but I don't know if you can see, but there was one gentleman in one of the green shirt and the work green shirts was pointing something. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't because it was kind of blurry, and I was like, what is that? And then you can kind of see the driver's keys being taken out of the ignition, and that's the other part that you see. I was like, what is this? I didn't understand the full context. Um, but let's hear it from him in his own words. And there's two drivers that you're going to hear from in this press conference, and then we'll do what we do.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. My name is Mosley Matheson. I'm one of the managing partners at Matheson Associates. I am joined by my colleague and co-counsel Carl Roth. We want to thank members of the media and those that are here with us today and those that are attending online. The purpose of this press conference is to provide you with first-hand accounts from individuals involved in the June 26th
Girl, that
incident
close
that
up
occurred
though.
at the Two Banks Development Landfill in Haywood County, North Carolina. I'd like to introduce you to the people standing here with me today. First is Mr. Joseph Joins. Mr. Joins is a truck driver. You've likely seen him in the videos that went viral on TikTok. He is here joined by his mother, Audrey, as well as his puppy, Coco.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Next, we have Ms. Angelica Hendon. Ms. Hendon is also a truck driver victim of the target assault. The Haywood having any involved treated according to the view. I am now going to turn.
I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. I currently live with my mother as her primary caretaker. I've been driving trucks for 2.5 years, and I started a contract to drive mulch debris from Hurricane Helen in June 2025. I was loaded with mulch the night before, and I'm sorry, you guys. I was loaded with mulch, and I spent the night before at a truck stop with a planned trip to TBD landfill in Haywood County, North Carolina, the very next morning. I arrived at TBD landfill about 6 a.m. on June 26, 2025. This was my first time I had ever been there. I didn't know the procedures for staging on the road, so I drove right to the gate. When I got there, one of the TBD employees came up to me a few minutes later and told me that I should have staged outside of the landfill at the Ingles grocery store. But since it was my first time there, they were about to open the gates in about 20 minutes or so I could remain in place. About 10 minutes later, a man I later learned was Andrew Ferguson pulled up in a pickup truck and told me that I was there too early and I would have to go all the way around to the back of the line. I told him that I was told I could remain there until the gates opened, but he angrily told me to move, so I did. After moving the truck, I waited my turn in line. While I was waiting, I saw a line of pickup trucks pull up and block me in. About 5 men got out and walked to my truck. One of the men was Andrew Ferguson. He had a gun on his hip. Andrew came up to my truck and asked if I had his cell phone. I told him I didn't, but he insisted that I did. I told him he could search my truck if he really thought that I had it. He searched my truck and didn't find it. I even suggested that he call his phone from another phone so that he could find it. A few minutes later, I moved my truck to the unloading position on the top of the hill. Once at the top of the hill, I started to unload. After about 5 minutes, the same 5 men started running towards my truck. Andrew had a gun in his hand. When they reached my truck, they started screaming that I stole Andrew's phone. And they started pulling on my door, trying to open it. I was scared. So I put my truck in gear to leave the area, but because I was unloading, the power takeoff was engaged. So the truck would only crawl forward about 3 miles per hour. At that point, the men were banging on my truck. Andrew slammed his gun on my door, and I was terrified. Then I saw that a bulldozer that ran right into my truck head on, throwing me across my cab of the truck. I also felt my trailer moving, and I realized that another bulldozer had tipped it up on its side. I was right on the edge of a steep embankment. And I thought that they were going to kill me. I decided that I needed to start videoing what was going on, so I climbed out of my truck. When I climbed out of my truck, I started recording. The men came back and ordered me to get back in my truck. At this point, a man who told me he was a sheriff came over and slammed the door on my dog, Coco. And then told me to stay in my truck or he was going to put me in jail. Other men were doing the same and told me to stay in the truck so that nothing bad would happen. One of the men called me boy. I noticed 2 other men on the passenger side of the truck, and I thought they were going to enter the truck, so I got out and grabbed my dog and ran across the field to where they were staged other trucks at to try to get away from them. The trucks were with the same company I worked for, and I got into one of them that was operated by my coworker, Angelica. Once I got into Angelica's truck, Andrew came with the same group of men and pointed a gun straight at us. This had terrified Angelica, and she told me to get out of her truck so she wouldn't get shot.
So in that second video, which it's foggy, so it's blurry, so it's not really clear, and that's what that was.
I got out and ran towards the next truck behind me, which was empty and locked. So I came back to the driver's side of Angelica's truck, where Andrew began yelling at me, holding a gun and telling me I was going to jail. I went and got back into Angelica's truck, waited for the sheriffs, because she had told me she had called 911. While I was waiting, my adrenaline had went down, and I started to feel neck, back, and hip pains. The sheriff on duty The sheriff deputies, I'm sorry, the sheriff deputies arrived at, and when, I'm sorry, I'm sorry guys, I'm going through a lot, and I'm just trying to get it out, I'm sorry. The sheriff deputies arrived, and one came over and asked me what was going on. I told him that I told him what happened. They asked if I had a gun. I told them no. They searched me. I asked for an ambulance, and they called one and drove me down the hill to meet me. They drove me down the hill to meet the ambulance.
Let's fast forward to his coworker's statement where she explains what she saw from her view of before they took him down to the ambulance.
Come on. Sorry. Sorry.
No,
So sorry.
Good afternoon. My name is Angelica Henry. I'm from Lake City, Florida. I'm 29 years old and I'm the mother of a 2-year-old son. I've been driving trucks for 8 years and on June 26, 2025, on June 26, 2025, I was hauling mulch debris as a part of the cleanup from Hurricane Helene in Haywood County, North Carolina. That morning, I arrived at TBD Landfill about 6:30 a.m., as I have done on multiple occasions over the past several months. I was in the waiting line to unload with other trucks, and I was behind my coworker, Joseph Jones. While I was waiting, I saw a disturbance. Something was happening outside of Joseph's truck. I witnessed a group of about 5 men, some of whom I recognized as TBD employees. As I sat there, I saw bulldozers pushing Joseph's truck over. About that time, Joseph came running over to my truck and climbed in, clearly afraid. Within seconds, a TBD employee I know to be Andrew Ferguson came up to my truck and pointed a gun at me while another TBD employee reached in and pulled the keys out of my truck. I was in fear for my life and extremely upset when I ordered Joseph out of my truck so that the TBD employees would leave me alone. Joseph left my truck and was later taken away in an ambulance. I showed up that morning to do my job, to make a living so I could support myself and my son. I did not ask for this. Now I am hearing that TBD is accusing Joseph of hijacking my truck. This never happened. The entire situation is just shocking and has caused me major stress and anxiety. I am having trouble sleeping as I keep replaying these events in my head. Nobody should have to fear for their safety at work, especially when safety is preached as a priority. This isn't about me, it's about accountability, safety, and basic human dignity. Nobody deserves to be treated like Joseph and I were on that day. Thank you.
So that's the press conference that happened recently in Raleigh because there's a lawsuit that has been filed, I believe, and the attorneys kind of speak to it. But if you, let me get his TikTok name again. This is all on
Everybody,
his Not Turning Back.
everybody, I'm in class.
Oop, sorry, guys. Not Turning Back underscore 98. It's all on his TikTok page. You can watch all the videos of where he shares his experience. Um, I I agree. You should never, ever, ever have to be in fear for your life while you are just doing your job. And the fact that both of these drivers are now traumatized for life over a phone that was misplaced, not stolen, is shocking to me.
Are you shocked? Are you really?
Yes and no. I saw a video actually yesterday or today about. But this is what I think. I think that there should be. I believe that you should have the right if that's what you so choose. But there's a part of me that feels that there should be a litmus test for people who want to be owners of such things. Because, and I said it in a video, some people are stupid. Some people do not have discernment. Some people don't have common sense. And this allegedly, this Andrew Ferguson fella has none of those because you lose your phone, you accuse someone else of stealing it, push over his work vehicle with two whatever work vehicles, you almost tip him down a hill. You could have taken his life. And you're threatening him over a phone, something that is replaceable easily enough.
Um,
Sorry.
I wonder if he even thought he had the phone. What would make you think he would have your phone?
You couldn't have dropped it or lost it somewhere on the work site. I don't know. It happens all the time.
But did he even really believe that, or was he just trying to come up with a reason? Was he just trying to rally up other people? Because that's exactly what it seems like
Mhm.
happened.
Very much.
Um,
And
I just don't understand, and maybe it's because I don't think this way, but or maybe it's because when I lose stuff, I don't automatically blame somebody. Now, there have been certain situations where, because of a history with a person or a history in a situation, where I would suspect certain
mm,
things. But he don't know this man. And what makes you feel, out of everybody that was there, that he even took your phone? I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I could be wrong. He could really have thought that. I just don't believe it. I can't. I'm sorry. There's no, what makes you, I'm
I,
sorry.
I
I
agree
just
with
can't.
you. And I have a theory. And please know I do not know any of this for fact. Um, just from the outside looking in, this is an opinion, plain and simple. I believe, now I could be wrong and I'm not going down a conspiracy rabbit hole. However, people who are caught doing something, some people try to distract. And what a better distraction than to accuse someone of taking a phone because he arrived early. He didn't know the procedure. He didn't know that particular area worked. He arrived early, pulled in. And for there to be someone who's working for the sheriff's office there, why are you there? And they seemed all too ready to push that vehicle down a hill fairly quickly over a phone. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. If you know me, you will know that I try not to lean towards that ever. But I think that there's more going on here. We see this all the time. We see it right now. How people will make stuff up.
Just
I
say
can't
it.
always.
We all know
I
it's
can't
meant.
always. Y'all just have to forgive me, but I love to curse. Sometimes I can hold it in. People will use a distraction from the truth. And hello, naturally melanated. Why wouldn't this be a distraction from something else maybe they thought he saw, but he didn't know he saw? We see this in the media all right now. If y'all know, if you know, you know. I'm not going into it. That's my theory. And yeah,
I believe that, and the reason why I believe that um is because why were you so bothered about him being there early? Why did that bother you to the point where he redirected him and told him, what did he tell him to go
go back
back
in line.
out or right? So him being early bother you to the point where you sent him back out. Like if somebody comes to an event of mine early, I'm not gonna send them back out, right? I'm gonna be like, well, you're just gonna have to sit here and wait. But that's on you because you're
Or
here
help if you
early.
choose to. Help set up.
Or that, or that. I'm always eating and not sharing. But these are chili, spicy chili mangoes, and I got them at the IGA. That's all I got. I can just tell you where to get them from. I'm sorry. I'll put them down. I'll try.
I don't know. And then for the someone who works for the sheriff's department to be there, and it's like if you, I would expect that even if you are have picked up side work, even if you're off duty, plenty. I have heard of this before. Maybe you're not getting enough hours. Maybe you need a side gig. Okay, sure. But you weren't representing the PD in that moment. But even if you're not representing the police department in that moment, you still have to follow the law. So for that person who is of law enforcement to react the way and do the things that he did during that incident, what were you doing there? What were you doing there? Okay, fine. But what were you really doing there?
Right.
I just think that there's more to this story, and it'd be interesting to find out and follow this to figure out like what comes out of it as this lawsuit now that's been initiated, because I think there's more to the story. And not from him, but now
Right.
his life is impacted for the rest of his life. He lost his job basically. He lost his job behind this.
He lost his
Yeah,
job. That's
he lost
crazy
his
to me.
job.
How do you how do you lose your job when you're the victim? That's
Yeah.
absurd.
Um
But do they have their jobs?
I don't know. He doesn't talk about it. But it's a good question. It's a good thing to ask. Probably not. We all know how that turns out. Don't be the aggressor. You keep the job. Like, I mean, I saw a video this week that just pissed me off, and it was something similar, but like a one on one type thing. And I just think that there's people out there who are really dumb. Sorry to say. And if you don't know, if you can't tell the difference between when your life is truly in danger, if it is or if it's not, like as many like psychological tests as there are, you can't tell me that there can't be one to figure out if someone's more likely or not likely to know that or not.
I don't.
Because that man's life was not in danger. His phone was missing. Had he looked, he would have found it. So your first inclination is to start pulling out of like pull really?
But do you really blame ignorance, or do you blame hatred?
I would say both because if you hate someone because of who they are, where they come from, you're
That's
you're
ignorant.
stupid.
I agree.
If you have hate in your heart for someone who's different other than you, you're stupid.
I agree. I
Um,
agree.
yeah. Um, just my humble opinion. Like I mean, hey, um, and we're not going to show that other video because it actually, frankly, is worse than what you see here. You can kind of clearly see how that kind of turned out, but it's a shame that you have two people who are now affected, traumatized for life. One has a complete job loss. By the way, he supports his family, supports his mother, who's visually impaired, and now he can't behind this.
Something that was not his fault, by
Yeah.
the way. I think that's the part that I'm so bothered by is how does a victim um, get penalized? That's like victimizing them all over
Yeah.
again. So they have already had this traumatic experience that they are going to have to deal with for the rest of their life, that they're probably going to have to um, go to counseling for. Like, and I'm assuming, and this is just an assumption, right? I cannot imagine that taking care of your sick mother, right? I can't imagine that that's an easy task. So you're probably already doing the most. And here, let's tack on this. Let's let's add this to your plate. So we're gonna victimize you, and we're gonna victimize you again by affecting your finances. Like you could say whatever to me, just don't touch my check. If it's not affecting my check, I don't care.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start affecting my check, now we're gonna have a damn problem here. Because now we're talking about my livelihood. Now we're talking about how I take care of home. And that is disgusting to me. That they would fire him behind what somebody did to him.
Yeah.
That I can't believe that people are not rallying against this company. Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, and I don't think you guys can watch the press conference. I watched most of it. um, but at some point I was just kind of like, man, this is trash. Trash in the sense that, like, seriously, you can't go to work without some donkey doing this, and then suddenly you're in that single moment, his life has changed like this, which is
Absolutely
completely unfair. Like, I think we have to be
crazy.
like, as a society, we got to be a little bit more conscientious of. I'm not saying that losing a phone wouldn't be a pain in the you know what. But my first inclination, like you said early, would not be to accuse someone else. It would be like, okay, what did I do here? And I've been on the other end of someone thinking that I stole some miss. Oh, I have.
I have.
And it's a funny, it's not funny, but I say funny because I don't know what other words to say right now. But it's a very uncomfortable position to be in because, like, look, I ain't a thief.
This is a reminder.
Dateline.
Alexa, stop. Stop. Alexa, stop.
Yeah. But even if someone were to accuse you or accuse you without saying, because that's how it was with me, they're trying to accuse me without saying, "Oh, I thought it was you," and I'm like, I ain't still nothing.
Right.
I've never had to endure someone accusing me and then trying to physically threaten me over something so meaningless as it's a phone. It's not your life. Even if it was money, take the shit. Like, I'm not. Here you go.
First of all, most people, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but most people have insurance on their phone,
I
right?
mean, I don't. I'd be hurt if I lost my
If
shit.
it's lost,
I'd be mad.
oh,
But whatever.
my bad.
That's why I
I don't
keep a
know.
really good case on it. I probably but I'm not gonna go out there accusing someone else. I mean, I lost I didn't lose it, I found it. But I misplaced something while I was going shopping one day and I didn't look at the person behind me. I did look to see, well, did I leave it somewhere that someone could have picked it up? Yes. But I wasn't talking it like, did you take my debit card? Did you take my debit card? Did you take it? Because I don't no. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? Who does that?
Prime example, because you was on the phone with me when I couldn't
Yeah,
find
yeah,
something,
yeah.
right? I did automatically assume the person that was in line with me took it. I knew it was me. Like, damn, I did it again. I can't believe I did this again. I've lost two things, but didn't react like I had no training, period. Right, exactly.
There it is.
Yeah, like, I guess maybe it depends on how frequently you lose stuff. Maybe because I lose stuff all the time.
I mean, that's fair.
I know I can't blame nobody else. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's a part of
I
it.
mean, but
But I don't
I don't
understand.
think anyone's first inclination is like, oh, to accuse somebody else. And
Right.
I know I did have that one that thing. This lady who I worked with, she thought like I took her necklace or some shit, and I was like, honey, I don't need to do that. and she ended up
Right.
and she ended up finding it. Um, and funny thing is, that was one of the reasons that played into why I left my that job because I was like, I ain't a thief. I ain't never been a thief. I'm not. If I could steal anything, it wouldn't be some 2-cent chain from your fucking bag. And believe me, I had access to a great many things. And if it won't gonna be that. I don't have sticky fingers. Hey, naturally melanated. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you hanging in and hanging out with us and joining us for this live. What are your thoughts? Did you see this story that went viral a couple weeks back? And it's out of the Carolinas, which it feels really close to home. This one felt close to home. It just, it's not my hometown or anything like that. It's not our where we live or anything like that. But it's just a weird predicament to be in. And the people who are driving these trucks, they're actually doing very needed work. When you consider that the efforts from Hurricane Helene is still ongoing almost a year later. So they're doing much needed work. And And it's an important job, and they have one less person to do the work behind these idiots at the landfill. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. Um, so what are your thoughts? Did you guys see this story? Because I saw it and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, yeah, I know what this is. And had I been paying attention a little bit better, it would have caught it a little bit faster. But it did circle its way back because this incident had it because of they filed suit.
I heard about it, and I feel that the man should have not lost his job. I agree. Like, how do you lose your job for being a victim?
Hey.
Um, uh,
Hey there.
you.
Welcome from Utah.
Yeah, I agree. Like that, I'm still kind of a little confused about that.
Yeah.
Um, do you know if and do you know if they have like a GoFundMe or anything like that?
No, I don't know.
Have you heard anything about it?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay. If anybody knows about it, you could put it in the chat. Just in case someone listening in would like to help out. Um, because he's gonna need it. They're both gonna need it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, and
definitely gonna need it.
he
Uh,
supports his family, his mother, but I believe they alluded to the fact that he supports more. Let's see.
I don't
Google
know.
schmoogle.
Girl, you be on it. Like if you want to know something, that chick right there can find out for you.
Oh no, hang on.
Probably not. It wouldn't
Especially if it's a
surprise me.
civil suit. I mean, people do some
Mm-hmm.
random stuff and they still out here walking the streets.
Well,
Just saying. Especially if you're Ah, sorry. If you know, you know.
mm,
As far okay, let me see. So they did file suit. Let's see. Oh,
mm. Girl, what? Girl,
say what now?
give it up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hang on one second. I was trying to read it, dude. Listen. I was trying to read it. Let me get this in here real quick. Here you go. Okay, so give me a second. I was trying to speed read. So
I'm sorry.
Mr. Joins, he did file suit, I believe, against the sheriff department. Um, a federal civil rights lawsuit against several parties, including the Haywood County Sheriff. Sorry.
Girl, I can't see.
So the attorneys are representing both Mr. Joins and Angelica Hinden. Let's see. They filed suit because the Haywood County Sheriff's Office chose to ignore their rights, deny equal protection, and subjected them to civil abuse. So it's not a criminal case. It sounds like it's civil. Um,
It should be a criminal case. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm not only confused. I'm offended because I can almost guarantee if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be a criminal case.
oh, I believe you're right. If it was a different scenario, different people, it would be a criminal case.
Girl. Oh, it kind of makes me. Ooh, girl.
And then the part where he called him boy,
Ooh, it's not sitting well with me.
like we weren't born yesterday. That's too that is derogatory. So for that person to use it in that way, there is an element of race that plays into it, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. There is an element because he used that term, and we all know how that's used.
Period. Oh,
All
girl.
right.
It is not sitting well with my spirit over here. Oh, I'm real bothered by that. I can't even
Okay, so it
lie.
sounds like it's a civil matter. I don't agree that it should be a civil matter, hands down. It's absolutely because there's a criminal element to it of it to me. Um,
You held that man hostage.
and then you involved other people, and then pointed a dangerous weapon towards not only him but also
Period.
to another employee. So like of the trucking company.
You threatened physical harm and actually did from what I saw in that short clip, the first one, the initial one, wasn't part of his truck turned
Yeah,
over?
they had two.
The half
There
in,
was
right?
two like I don't want to, I don't know if it's a bulldozer, I don't know heavy machinery, but it appeared to be like a bulldozer type vehicle that pushed it from like two different angles.
It's crazy.
And then when
Crazy
the
work.
sheriff closed the door, he closed the door on the darn dog, and you can hear the dog yelping because he'd harmed the dog. Like, oh, people are crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's in one of the, I don't think it was in any of these clips, but it was in one of the clips that he reposted recently.
But did you see what naturally melanated said? She said, okay, ladies, y'all come to Africa and any guy that's younger than you is called a boy.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, fair point. Um,
I guess you're right. Maybe it could be a cultural thing,
hmm,
but I assure you this wasn't. They don't seem like
the friendly sort.
they don't seem like they travel much. I mean, that's my take. I could be wrong.
Yep, probably not far out there outside their town.
I mean,
Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but
probably not.
I know I recognize that might sound some kind of way, but
I'm almost out of tea again, but every time we do this, I'd be out of tea.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Okay, I recognize that that might have been the wrong thing to say. However, if you have not, if you've only lived in this certain bubble, you only know this bubble and you know this way of life. So
Right.
when you expand outside of that bubble and experience other cultures, like naturally melanated said, like if you come to Africa,
Right.
there's words are used in different contexts. Um, but that person has lived a very small life, in my humble opinion, not fact. Um, yeah, and is a very small person because if your first inclination is to accuse someone of stealing when you could have easily just have misplaced it, which was the case here, they created this really big thing out of
Right.
nothing.
Your misplaced phone. Your mis.
Now you got a whole lawsuit, and I wonder if they can really sit to ask themselves, was it worth it?
From looking at that again, I could be wrong, But it would lead me to believe this is not the first
Mm.
time that they have behaved that way. They felt very comfortable.
Mhm.
They felt very
Mhm.
entitled. They even had backup from the sheriff department, which leads me to believe this is a very common thing for them. And they have gotten away with it so long, probably because they had backup,
Yeah, they
right?
felt untouchable because one of their homies from the sheriff's department was working on site. What do you need someone from the sheriff's department? Why would you need someone there?
Now, that could be for a number of things. It could be.
Okay.
Um, it could be. I absolutely, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I really have to go back to what you said earlier. It was something that was going on that had them so upset that he was even there early.
Yeah.
Um, I can't say I work in an environment where if you see people coming in extra early or leaving extra late,
What you doing?
you
What we doing?
this right here. Oh wait, what's that?
True.
You here for you want to be here early? And no overtime? Oh no, mm-mm. Some suspect about that. And that's just how I agree with what you said. It's probably definitely more to it. They were up to something, and um, when I guess maybe them redirecting him wasn't enough,
But
then it became
yeah, like they were afraid. Like they were afraid and they were like, well, let's orchestrate this other thing. Girl.
will always think and act like we have. Shoot, this the last sip,
Hmm.
and you got it,
Same. I'm
girl.
down to my
You got
my little hibiscus is about to be gone.
and I'll sip on that one.
Yeah.
Facts. Um, that what you, we didn't
Yeah.
say it. We just agree with it.
Now we do know that not all, but Mr. Ferguson,
Period.
Mr.
Clearly.
Andrew Ferguson appears like that. He would have been great to have on the Ken and Karen's Gone Wild.
Oh wow, girl, you would say that after I told you I'm on E.
He was a Ken Gone Wild. A
I
ugly
feel
Ken.
period.
Ah,
Um, I really feel bad for um even the people that witnessed it. Like I feel bad for um and I know you probably gonna side eye me for this one.
probably not.
I feel sorry that your level um is that low.
Mm, mhm.
Um I don't hating someone back does no one any good. Um and that just makes us just as bad as the type of people that we unfortunately have to deal with on occasions. And I feel sorry for people that that's their take on things. That, like you said earlier, you put it so well when you said small. To be so small and not realize um, there's so much more to life and people, and that you're missing out on life and people because you think so small.
Yeah. Like, had he thought bigger, he would have found it. Like, just retrace your steps, sir. If that was the
I'm
real
sorry.
thing. Like, I mean, not for nothing. If that was the
Right.
real
I don't.
if that was this alleged real reason, had you thought a little
Right.
bit harder,
Right.
you could have avoided a whole lawsuit against.
No, I really feel like he knew he had it. He knew he had it. I'm pretty sure he knew early on he had it. I don't even think ever think he felt like he lost
Yeah.
it. And that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's healthy to surmise like, look, this got to be bigger than a dang phone cuz ain't no reason to go through all of this over a phone. So there's something more.
Right.
And we see it plenty of times where, people try to distract you from what you really want to know or the truth about things by creating something totally unrelated.
Right. Right.
And why couldn't that be the case here?
He might have saw something and he probably really doesn't even realize he
Yeah,
saw it. For all we know,
big
who
possibility.
knows?
Big possibility.
But I pray for not just the victims, but I pray for those small minded people.
Do you think they'll still be small minded after they might have to pay like quite a bit of money? You think?
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. I've
Mm.
seen it. You have people that even when they're wrong, they cannot admit that they're wrong. They are the
Hmm.
victims.
Yes.
I don't really see. Now I don't know. You hit me in my pocket. I'm gonna learn real quick. Me
Gotcha.
personally, I I don't really. I'm sorry. I was going a little fast, but please don't stroke me this here ticket. Please God. I promise. I promise if you just let me go, I will behave.
No
I
lead
promise.
foot allowed.
Um, don't you know? Um, don't hit my pockets. But in this case, because of the level of comfortability, because of the how it escalated, I feel like that part. I feel like even hitting them in their pockets probably will not have the effect that maybe it would have on you or I. Um,
No,
I
I
could be
think you're
wrong.
right. I
I
think
don't
you're
feel
right
I don't feel like it's
because
gonna change. I don't feel like it's gonna change at
there's a
all.
certain someone I won't speak their name, but has had tons and tons of lawsuit and still couldn't figure to keep his mouth quiet. Where millions of dollars later, three different lawsuits, two defamation, millions of dollars, still talking.
You still yapping? You ain't get it. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. What do I know? I just know I don't have enough money to have that kind of power to still keep talking.
So all you gotta do is smack my hand one good time. I'm like, okay, I'll be
Fine.
quiet. You wait.
I won't say anything else.
I'll say something else, but I promise I won't say
I
nothing to
say it
do
in my
with you.
brain, but I won't share.
In your mouth.
I
I might call my girl and be like, hey.
Let me tell you, I got that tea. That's how you do it.
Um, I don't know. I don't think they don't care. They don't care. If their behavior clearly says they
Yeah,
don't care.
agreed. Agreed.
I don't think they'll be smart enough to care.
Wow. I really hope. I know, like, I hope it's something that we can kind of follow, or maybe it'll get settled quickly. Who knows? Because it sounds like from that news article that they are suing several different angles. But I hope they win, and I hope they win big.
Period.
Big.
From all sides. Boom, boom. And you give me, and you give me, and you give me, and you give me too.
Friends. Well, I, friends. Well, there you have it. If you are not following the chat, Miss Naturally Melanated said, I don't know how to keep my mouth shut either, but all I have is dirty clothes for them to get. Have at it. A mountain of laundry.
I know that's right. You got it. As a matter of fact, could you take them to the laundromat?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, take it and clean them. Wash them, dry them, fold them. Don't forget the fabric softener. Hmm.
Amen. Absolutely.
Agreed.
I hope they get all that they asked for and then some.
Agreed.
I hope they get more than what they asked for. Um, because that behavior and what they got that day was so undeserved,
Yeah.
so uncalled for. To have a gun pointed, oh, as a person that has had a gun pointed at them, that is not a feeling I think anybody
Mhm.
deserves.
Agreed.
So,
Um, I do want to say this one thing because, and I'm gonna just tie it into one of the things that we were talking about. Like maybe he saw something he didn't know what he was seeing. But if you remember, this is something I always say. Like when we are experiencing something that we don't understand as an individual, and we know it's not of our causing, and it's someone else who's an agitator in that situation, what you always have to remember is that God uses you. He will use you. And when, even though you're sitting there saying, why is this happening? Whatever it is, whatever's going to come out, is my wholehearted belief. Whatever's going to come out in, like, I forget what it's called in whatever, well, they're pulling evidence and stuff of what happened. I think something else is going to come out of this. And maybe that's why this is happening.
bigger picture.
Bigger picture.
I agree.
Yeah. So just try to remember that when we go through some stuff, sometimes you can sit there and say to yourself, why? And just remember that sometimes you're being used for something bigger than you could imagine. So try to remember that. Um, thank you, everyone who's joined us on this Sunday, because we know y'all could be doing anything, maybe folding clothes while you listen, whatever the things. Just know we appreciate you joining us for our weekly Sunday live. Thank you.
Absolutely. As always, time is something that you cannot get back. And the fact that you took time out of your busy day and life to share um, and listen to our opinions right here on Oust Now Podcast, we cannot thank you enough. Please don't forget season four, I held up eight, four, sorry, me and numbers. I forgot. Season four is on the
Mhm.
way, and we are starting.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you so much. Season four is on the way. Do not forget. This is Us. Oust Now Podcast presents This Is Us, which you can only find on YouTube. And please go listen to season one, two, and three and catch up. So when season four come and we start referencing all those season threes, you know where we at. Or season two. Sometimes we be referencing other episodes and we don't know what season they come from. We'll be like, when we do an episode on that?
Very true. Very, very true. And if you want to know where to listen, where to watch, check out our website because it has all the links. www. Because I forget my own name some days, oustnow.com. All the links are there.
Y'all
All you
have
got
a
to do is click,
that
click, it'll
part.
take you to it. Thank you guys.
Y'all have a great night. Mwah.